Hi, I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Ralph.
Before we go further, let's hear a little about process work's history.
And how things developed from process work to world work.
Again, we asked the filmmaker to design and narrate this section in her own voice.
We hope you'll enjoy it.
In the 1970s and 80s, Arnie developed process work, also known as process-oriented psychology. A basic philosophy behind process work is Taoism, the ancient Chinese philosophy of noticing and adjusting to the flow and constant changes of nature. Just as nature is always changing, people, of course, are also in the midst of constant change. And Arnie discovered that even within those aspects of life which seem very static and difficult, such as body symptoms or relationship issues, there's a flow of experience, as well as potential meaning and wisdom. For example, think of this man. Normally, he's pretty shy and kind of uncertain about himself. Now, imagine that he has a headache. Ouch! He might want to take an aspirin. That's one level or approach that many of us might take for a headache. At the same time, however, on another level, we could also ask him how he experiences his headache. In this case, the man said it felt as if a vice was tightening on his head. Something like this. Ordinarily, he experiences himself as the victim of his headache or vice. But with a little encouragement, he could also try to identify with the energy of the vice itself. When this man tried to do that, he expressed the energy of the vice in this way with his hands. And while he was doing that, he suddenly realized that he wasn't only shy, but that he actually had a lot of strength. And at an even deeper level, he experienced that strength as an inner sense of certainty and solidity. In other words, his symptom is not only a static and difficult state, but it's also a process in the midst of unfolding that contains its own messages and wisdom. In the beginning of process work, Arnie applied these ideas to various areas of application, including, for example, dream and body work, movement work, working with people in coma and near-death conditions, relationship work, and working with people in extreme and altered states of consciousness, and many different areas as well. All of these areas are connected with the idea of process and following nature. In the late 1970s and 80s, Arnie realized that while individual, couple, and family therapy methods can be very helpful, they're often not sufficient to deal with the larger social and community field in which we live. Particularly when we find ourselves in social, political, or cultural turmoil. In other words, each individual, relationship, or family is embedded in a community, a nation, and a larger world, with varying degrees of conflict, challenges, and beauty. World work then began to be applied, for example, to many areas, such as organizations, open city forums, international conflicts, and politics. And to such issues as race, gender, sexual orientation, health, economics, religion, environmental issues, and many more. Just like with an individual, a world worker appreciates a group's stated definition of itself and its known issues, while at the same time explores the group or community's little noticed, hidden dimensions. Its dreaming process as it flows down the sea of experience, whether flowing down quiet or stormy seas. By following each group's unique process, its inherent wisdom can emerge. Therefore, even in the most intractable and seemingly static conflicts, there's potential for wisdom, sustainable resolutions, greater community, and teamwork.
Okay, that was a little about the background of process work in world work.
Now, let's begin to explore world work. One of our friends will take us further, starting with a brief overview.
We'll see you later.